Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to State of the Cinema, which is our weekly show, of course, where we take a look at what is happening behind the scenes of Kaiser Cinema. This is week 14, and we're going to do more of a deep dive into our upcoming China content, because of course we are very focused right now on Kaiserreich documentary 9, which is all about China, as well as World of Kaiserreich Kwomintang and World of Kaiserreich Legation Cities. So we're going to try and team a variety of releases around some of the China content we have not released yet. Before we start off, I would like to thank some of the patrons appearing in this frame, which is the first China-themed patron frame, depicting mercenaries, Western mercenaries fighting in China during the Chinese Civil War. So Nicholas, Ruby, Scroll, Dallas, Orc-Fighter, Inquisitor Hawk, and Captain Antarctica. Thank you guys for all the support. Which brings us neatly into some of the sketches. Let me just tone that down a little bit. Yeah. Which brings us neatly into some of the sketches that me and Diana have been doing for World of Kaiserreich Kwomintang. Now, Kwomintang is a very interesting one because I think it's one that the community has very hotly requested. So we are making a loading screen, we are making a World of Kaiserreich video with concept art and all the bells and whistles of a full Kwomintang release. So Yana has prepared this sheet for us, which is essentially breaking it down into 3 major teams. Now, to understand this, we should probably switch to our Miro, which is a mood boarding software that we use basically to lay out briefings or lay out ideas. And this is a briefing for Kuomintang that Gabriel has written, which is extremely comprehensive. Obviously, I don't have the time to go in depth into this particular briefing right now. But just as a brief overview, the idea that Flame had is that we depict the 3, factions of the Kuomintang, the left Kuomintang in this specific case, which is, the French trained aspect of them, the local resistance aspect of them, as well as, I think, the Song King Ling faction. And then specifically, we're also trying to find a loading screen which is sort of inspired by some of the mood board scenes you see here, where it is going to be a Shanghai uprising themed scene, or the assassination of, there's a moment where the right Kuomintang does an assassination attempt on a leader of the left Kuomintang, but the exact names are escaping me. But this is kind of what we're looking at, right? We would like to see some kind of really cool Shanghai shootout downtown, or maybe tie it into, special forces, assassinations, stuff like that, right? Or underground meetings of Kuomintang officials. We're looking at Chinese movements, Chinese movies from this time. Obviously, you have, some great communist art from this time as well. All these things we're trying to bring forward into sort of a nice little comprehensive video for the World of Kaiserreich Kuomintang. A lot of interesting things on this mood board as well. So on the sketch front, we're looking at either doing something related to the underground, to the insurgents, or to the exiles. The exiles then specifically would talk about the Kuomintang in France. Insurgents would be, the local Fujian and MinGan insurgency zone, which is, the jungle mountains of the south of China, where the Kuomintang have a strong presence in Kaiserreich lore. The underground then specifically is going to be more teamed to Shanghai and to the Legation Cities, where again the Kuomintang have a very strong presence. So I'm just gonna pan over this so you guys can have a look. I will have the regular things like patron cameos and a more detailed breakdown once we've decided which direction we want to go in. But I think there's a lot of potential here. So the frames that really stand out to me are these sort of like spy noir thriller type frames, with characters having a shootout. We're also looking at stuff like this. We really like that idea of returning to Shanghai to have some kind of spy or depict that assassination attempt. That is a big part of Kaiserreich documentary China lore. Or we have, the exile to France. There's just a lot of really cool lore for this that we can work with. Now, before I close off, I would like to show you the progress on Kaiserreich documentary 9 China, which is not loading. Just give me a second here. The script is currently at version 37, and as you can see on my screen, probably it is a whopping 60 pages long, which right now comes down to 2 hour 20 minutes documentary. This is a little crazy for us. We're gonna see if we can maybe get it into a more reasonable 1 hour 45 minutes, or split it into 2 episodes. We're still right now, the debate we're having is how detailed we want to be about these chapters specifically, which is everything starting from the Boxer Rebellion in the 1900 up to let's say some of the first northern expeditions of the Kuomintang, as well as, you know, detailing both the Fujian, the Zili, the Anhui, and a bunch of other factions before the turn of the 1925, before the second Zili Fujian War, which is a very big part of Kaiserreich lore. Again, this is probably the most massive piece of Kaiserreich lore that we've tried to condense so far. So we're still seeing how we can, you know, move forward with something that is as big as the China rework has been. You know, and is as popular as the China rework has been. So expect to hear a lot more about our China work. This is going to be a large part of our production efforts this year, definitely wrapping up that sort of Chinese Civil War content and giving, you know, people a really good overview of what is happening in that region. Okay, that was it for this week. I want to thank you all for your continued support to KaiserGat Cinema. There will be an email newsletter somewhere next week or the week after, because I have recently released the poster for American Kingdoms, as well as some exciting pre-production stuff on that front. So keep an eye out for that. I want to thank you all, and I will see you all for the next one. See you guys.